That's a very broad statement, because there are many things that even the government today is doing are decent things, right? I mean, there's still Aliyah, for example, and there's still the roads and the electricity, and the army continues to defend us on the day-to-day. Do you make a distinction between the government that is currently occupying the power, or do you make a distinction between that and the state, or are they one?
I'll give you an example. Let's assume we are all going on a big boat, okay, on a big ship. The ship is wonderful. The ship is great. It looks great. It goes great. It has great engines, wonderful rooms, whatever you want you have in this ship. So the ship is great, and the ship is the state of Israel. We have a problem with the crew. We have a problem with the captain, because it looks like the crew decided, which are the regime in our example. The crew decided on their own, without no one really. They found a way to do what they want, going in a totally different direction than what the people in the boat asked for and paid for. Not only that, they are not listening to anyone who is trying to explain to them and to show that they're going on a wrong and dangerous direction. And let me tell you more than that, Yishai. The boat is sinking. It is sinking. The water is already somewhere close to the top. The bottom room is already full with water. Okay, when ministers in the government cannot leave the country because they'll get arrested in London and in Europe, okay, that means that boat is not Queen Elizabeth. It become a boat of pirates in the way the other world, the other countries look at it. Okay, and no one is really care anymore if that boat will sink. Actually, in the universities in the Western world, most of the people think it will be maybe a good idea that boat will sink. So we see that the crew is very, very dangerous to the boat, and this is the way I look at it. The boat is wonderful, and we need to save the boat. If you think you can jump without a boat into the ocean and survive, you're wrong. We need to save. We are looking to save not only the boat, but, or I would say different, not only the entire people on the boat, which are brothers. We're looking to save the boat itself, which is the state. We're doing what we do not against the state, but trying to save the state. And the fight that we have is against the crew. However, now comes into the picture a new factor, and with your permission, I would like to speak about it. I mean, it's good we started understanding exactly where we, Manhigut Yehudit, are standing here in the picture. We don't want Medinat Yehuda. It's against the whole concept of Manhigut Yehudit. The concept of Manhigut Yehudit is to take the leadership of the existing Jewish sovereignty in Eretz Yisrael, of the existing state, period. Nothing less than that. However, now starts a problem from the idea of Medinat Yehuda is actually being created today, believe it or not, by the left. Because the direction that Netanyahu is going, it looks like it may, God forbid, force it on us.
Right.
Now, what do I mean? You say right, I just want to make sure that people understand what I'm talking about. We hear from many directions, and it is probably true, that Netanyahu is planning to go back to the lines of 67. Withdraw from everywhere. The Golan Heights, Yerushalayim, Yehuda v'Shomron, everything. Now, how is he going to do that? Even let's assume that the soldiers will fulfill the orders. Okay, that won't be his problem. Financially, Israel don't have the money to finance such an act. There's no way Israel can pay 5% of its 5.5 actually of its own population the money for their homes, for resettle them, and so on. Just to explain the disengagement plan, okay, the destruction of Gush Katif cost Israel 10 years of American aid. Okay, which we pay from our own pocket. We don't have that money when we and now we're talking about maybe 50 times more than that. It's the kind of money that Israel simply does not have. So how Netanyahu is going to bridge between the direction he's taking, and I'm sure it's already closed between him and Obama and Mubarak and others, and there's many signs for that. I'm not going to get into it right now. How is he going to bridge between this plan and not being able to finance it, not talking about other problems he has to get it done? The answer logically takes us to a horrible picture, but we have to get prepared for it, that what he is really planning is what de Gaulle, the French President de Gaulle, did in Algiers. De Gaulle just decided on a date. He left Algeria, and million settlers, French settlers, who lived in Algeria maybe for 150 years. Algeria was part of France. Just packed one suitcase and become refugees in their own homeland. This is what logically looks like Netanyahu's plan. Notice that even now, when Netanyahu freezed the settlements for 10 months, so-called, there are big companies, building companies, that losing tens of millions of dollars because of that, and they have no one to sue. The Israeli government is getting us used to the idea that no one will get paid, will get nothing for these political acts. No one stayed. They would have been slaughtered by the Algerians.
Right. So the question is here with regard to what you're talking about being forced into a Judean state. In such a scenario, do we try to stay in Judea and Samaria and defend ourselves and create a Judean state, or do we hightail it to Tel Aviv?
Okay. Now we're going back to talking about Judea state, but not because we wanted it, but because Benjamin Netanyahu seems like trying to force it on us. Well, as I mentioned before, that's a very bad scenario, and it's definitely not what we want. But on the other hand, we don't want to leave our homeland, and we also don't want to become refugees in our own state. And the question, let's face it, the question, if that God forbid happened, the question is very simple. Do we have weapons to defend ourselves or not?
Well, you don't think the state of Israel is going to come in and try to evict us? You think they're just going to leave us here and hope that we try to hitchhike home?
Basically, instead of aiming to our head with an Israeli weapon, they're going to try to aim to our heads with a terrorist's weapon, which was given to them by the Israelis, by the way. But that's a
separate topic.
Story.
Yeah.